to go over overhead mobility self-assessment. So we're going to go over shoulder or glenohumeral joint flexion, okay? Mobility test, which is going to assess whether or not essentially you should be pressing straight up overhead and how you can modify that to fit your structural and current mobility ranges. Okay, so what you'll need here is a band of some sort. You can use a flat band, but you need something that you can put underneath your low back that's small. So flat band of some kind, and then a weight to anchor it. You're gonna wrap it around this weight and you're gonna put it in line with your low back. So what I'm gonna have you do is bring your hips to the front of your weight here and lay down. Okay, and then as you're laying flat here, I want you to feel where your back naturally curves up into this, right? So from here, I want you to slide that band right into the middle of that space, and then you're going to tuck the pelvis and pin it down. Okay, so you're going to keep that there. What this tells you is that if you are compensating in any way with your low back, okay, you're just barely pressing it down just so it's enough to hold it. I don't want you rounding or like crushing it. It doesn't have to be that extreme, but you're pinning it. It's not going anywhere, okay? So from here, we're going to start with knees bent. It's going to be the first thing. You can do one arm at a time or you can do both. If you are literally doing this by yourself, I recommend filming from about this angle, if not a little bit lower, to see where your arm hits, okay? So you're gonna go straight overhead. You're looking to keep bicep next to the ear as you come straight up overhead. And ideally, you're hitting the floor here and you can see your ear out above your shoulder, okay? So this is 180 degrees. If you end up somewhere around here, that's about 170, 160, 150, 40, 30, 20, okay? We're getting lower and lower. Okay, so when you test here, you're looking to keep your entire spine flat, okay? Elbow straight, and you should be able to see, and obviously your head is flat, okay? So you can measure from there. And you can imagine, right, if you are standing up and you are pressing a dumbbell up overhead, and when you do this, your arm ends here, right? What else is compensating for that, okay? Your back is probably arching, in which I lost my band here, okay? Your back is probably arching, and your shoulder in the back is working way harder than it needs to, which is a lot of time what leads to injuries, okay? So be aware of that. You're gonna do that on both sides, okay? If you can do that, no problem. The next thing I'm gonna have you do is straighten the legs. So this is gonna simulate more of a standing position, okay? And what this is going to tell you is a little more about the hips than it is about the shoulder, okay? So if you can get all the way flat here, no issues, okay? That's great. That means your shoulder mobility for flexion is where it needs to be. And now, you're gonna slide out both legs and keep that positioning. So my hips are fairly tight, so I have to fight this a little bit, and I'm aware of this when I press up overhead. My shoulder mobility is not an issue. My hips tend to be, okay? So from here, I can get flat, and I have to control it, okay? My feet are about hip distance apart, okay? You don't want them going any wider. That's gonna take away that. So keep them about hip distance apart, if not closer, and you're looking to maintain this position with the shoulder. Okay, so if you can do that, no problem, then you are A-okay to be pressing overhead. If you cannot do that, then you are going to look into what is required to help assisting overhead range of motion or glenohumeral flexion, and which exercises to modify if you don't have a full 180 degrees range of motion on both your left and right shoulders.